Hoping beyond hope. Hello, everybody. And we just breathe. It's a Wednesday. Hump days are a bit of work sometimes, as we all know. This is the hardest working day of the week for some folks, me included. Morning show, afternoon show, show at Flappers tonight. Long drive back home. It's a lot. I'm fine. How are you? Hello. Hopefully, our dear friend Philip will be able to join us at some point. At this point, I'm so nervous about clicking on the stuff that allows it to happen. Okay, we should be all right, I think. So, hopefully he'll be able to chime in with us at some point, and I'll be able to hear him in theory. Let's see. I have to make sure. That's the one thing I do have to make sure. I guess it's automatic that yeah, okay. So his audio should be automatic, and I should be able to hear it even in the picture that I'm in right now. So fingers crossed, I hope. Yeah, maybe I'll add it to this one just in case he pops in and we do it this way. Now, I have yet to use this method before, so let's see. I'm going to put it right there. I'm just going to hope that it works. That's my plan right now. Thanks for all the folks chiming in to help. It was not you. You were not wrong about any of these things. It's just the very nature of it was a rando. It seemed like an internet issue more than anything else. That all the web pages that I would open and the software that I use, which checks against the internet, was just freaking out in its back and forth. So I'm going to go with that and just assume it was trolls. There we go. Hold on one second. Oh, I've got it. Let me go back to me real quick. All these silly pages I have to open up all the time so that I can open up a chat with you guys. No, I don't need you, Siri. Thank you. And chat room, let me see if I can see you guys. There's some people in here. I'm starting to see some movement there. And then I'll open this up, and then we'll explore our things. And oh my gosh. Just the things upon the things upon the things. No notification. It might have been that I came in and came out and they just don't trust me anymore. It could be the YouTube and I have trust issues. I'm not against it. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Let's look at our trends since I'm already behind. YouTube defaulted to an old remote cast. They think they were chasing it back up. Yeah, Trump's trying to get me off. I think Kanye West bought YouTube and kicked me off. Pretty sure I'm just gonna. Philip says waiting for link. I sent him one in the via his Twitter DMs. Need to run to the corner store back at 10. Hope to get the gremlins. Yeah, okay. So he's got it, and he will be back in a second. And I just sent the link again, so he should have it. It's in the previous message I sent him, so all's well. He ran to the store. He's good. Okay, excellent. Trump has a job for me at Truth Social. Yeah, his problem is that I'm actually effective. I actually solved it. You're welcome. Oh, by the way, so this is one of those stories that this has come up a bunch of times. We actually dealt with this a long time ago on the live stream. This story that Gavin Newsom signed a bill to make it easier for pedophiles is the idea. Well, what the bill does is it makes the rules for gay people the same as for straight people. That's what it does. That's all it does. There were two standards, and now there are one. We've talked about this also before. There's a 10-year window. I believe it should be 4. I would settle for 6, sort of, depending at a certain point. But the idea, I think, you should be that senior to freshman age range, as far as people who are underage, seems normal. If you, for whatever reason, you're a high school senior and you met a freshman and you start dating, and then you keep dating and you turn 18 and they're now 15 or 16, whatever that is, you're still in a relationship window from high school, for fuck's sake. Like, if you're saying everybody's that high school is a category and you're putting these kids together, and when I was a freshman, I dated a junior and she would have been 3 years older than me, that kind of stuff. I think that's the way to do it. But, like I said, if you want to push it out to 6 years, whatever, 10 years is too much, I think, for that bill. That's what I think. That's my own personal feeling on it. As a matter of fact, rewrite it. Just if you want to go, aha, we're going to fix it. 24 to 14 is silly. That's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. HAL bragging about snagging upperclassmen ladies. It's a true story. Hashtag true story. Hey, here I am. Look at that. So anyway, so that's what it's about. And then all the Q people are like, they're legalizing pedophilia. It's like, all right, why is it only pedophilia when it's gay people? All right, Zaporizhia, obviously, where the nuclear facility is. See some video from the power restored at Ukraine's Zaporizhia nuclear plant. That's a good sign. International Atomic Energy. Okay, this is 14 hours ago. Chief Rafael Grossi said that has restored connection to its last remaining operating 700 kilowatt power line after the third outage in 10 days. Yeah, they're trying to freeze or freeze the Ukrainians or make them live in darkness. So, this is Russians hitting residential areas in Zaporizhia. I'm gonna move this over a little bit. I don't know, since I'm moving stuff anyways, why the heck not? I think it's this guy. Yeah. Yeah. Drag that out. No, I want to do the other way. Sorry, my bad. This way. Because I should be able to move the there you go. It's just a little more attractive. You know how I am. It's all about aesthetics with me, even when I do them on the fly. It's a very grim thing the Russians are doing, Hal. Yes, it is, Tom. It's starting to make, I think, curiously enough, I think it's pointing to the fact that all the people who seemed like they were, in retrospect, at one point, freaking out over the Cold War were actually right. Like, I'm not ready to go full on, McCarthy had a point, because his was about communism, not about the country itself. And the problem wasn't like some sort of theoretical political system that fails on its own merits with its own parties when they try to build it up. I'm choppy and freezing. I'm sorry. It's hi. But there's a lot of people who lived and died fighting the Cold War and fighting the Russians in a bunch of different places. And in retrospect, considering how they're acting in the world, it makes a lot of sense. Those people were not wrong. Those sacrifices were not in vain, because given half an opportunity, the Vladimir Putins of the world would run everywhere else like they're running their own fucking country. And anybody who wants that to happen obviously is out of their goddamn mind. It's perfectly smooth on Twitch for some reason. According to some folks. Yes, I'm back from the void. Might have to reload your page. Try doing that. Just all gremlins all the time today. And for no particular reason. I don't know. YouTube's all right? Yeah. So it's, like I said, I'm not getting any major drop frames. That is the one thing I can keep track of. Not happening on here. So if it is, it might be on your end. Yeah. So, I've been thinking about that a lot lately because, a lot of the movies we grew up with where they're fighting Russians and Russians are the bad guy and stuff seemed kind of in the late 90s, early 2000s, almost like relics of the past and unnecessary. And now, not so much. Now it's starting to look like, okay, I understand why these people felt like this battle had to be fought this hard. This is the other thing, too, is Putin has declared martial law in the LPR and the DNR. Sorry, the DPR and the LPR. The Donetsk People's Republic and the Luhansk People's Republic, which don't exist. Kherson and Zaporizhia regions. So, again, all the folks that seem to think that we live under a police state here, on the right especially, but I'm sure there's some on the left as well, the Kurt Metzgers of the world, holy shit, was he a dumbass on, I saw him on, like, as a guest on some show, and it was just baked the whole fucking time, and clamoring on with, like, it was like a Pez dispenser of Jimmy Dore talking points that he didn't understand. And the minute he got any pushback on it, he was like, you guys, yeah, okay, live in your fantasy world. Like, it was hilarious. So, lights out all over London. They could have cut one of the lines overseas last night, and they're patching it together to not let people know. 9-year-old Mikita Levchenko was sleeping at home in Zaporizhia when the Russians shelled the city. The boy, his grandparents, his cat, Vaska, and his dog, Chara, were all found dead. Yeah, that kid was apparently sleeping in a military site right next to, by the way, the same child car seat that I have for my son. Fucking hell. This is Ukrainian trenches got hit. Nobody was injured, but they could hear it coming in. It was one of the kamikazes. Yeah, I saw that like a day and a half ago. It's the administrative building at Zaporizhia. Yeah, there we go. That's the Russians hitting the Zaporizhia plant. Oh, this case is real good. Putin says he imposed martial law in Russian-occupied Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson Oblast. For those asking, this changes absolutely nothing. Right, yeah, like there's not an ongoing fucking war in the place. Yeah, that's a big part of it. The fact that they keep disconnecting power, reconnecting power, and then he declared his own, martial law there. They've been hitting places with harms in there. Ukrainian Air Force continues the successful campaign of suppression of enemy air defenses. Okay, yeah, these are the hits that they're putting in. Anyway, so Zaporizhia is obviously a big talking point right now. They keep trying, shutting down parts of it or bombing parts of it. Ticket to Paradise, that's a promoted one, so I'm not going to click on it. I will say, is it 2 tickets to Paradise? I mean, I know it's George Clooney and Julia Roberts. Do they both get a ticket, or is she sitting on his lap? Is he sitting on her lap? Does he have an extra ticket? Are there multiple tickets to paradise? Is it are they fighting over it? Was it a contest and one of them lost? I don't know. All right. Vote Republican if you don't want right. This defend democracy, defeat magazine. We go vote Democratic. There you go. I was Republican. Kansas AG Chris Mankin. Let's see. Just slammed Chris Kobach as a comic book villain for trying to vote to keep abortion legal in this state. Oh, sorry. To overturn the vote to keep abortion legal in the state. Kobach wants to change the Kansas Supreme Court to overturn the vote. Yeah. Not surprising. I mean, most of the time you'll see this like, Ron McDowell, vote Republican to help advance the freedom, security, prosperity that make this country great. Like, fucking how? How? In what way do you do that? Shall we read the Commitment to America again? That farcical cartoon document. Let's see. I'm going to check something real quick. I don't know if... Nope. Okay. I was just checking to see if the collab thing started working yet, or if he's having any issue with it. Val Demings was great last night. Marco's done this many, many times, so he's fairly well polished in some of these areas. But she brought it. Solid work. If you support Putin, vote Republican. Right. Yeah, they basically said, if we win the House, we're going to throttle all support for Ukraine. Yeah. Vote Republican and you'll never have to vote again. Yeah. This is a weird story, and I'm curious to see how this will pan out. This guy, James Gordon Meek, his house was raided by the FBI, and this whole thing, like, his colleagues say they haven't seen him since. This is weird. Like, the FBI didn't take him into custody. He's not. And the way they're phrasing this is really fascinating. FBI raids star ABC News producer's home. Emmy Award-winning producer James Gordon Meek had his home raided by the FBI. His colleagues say they haven't seen him since. They also haven't seen him since he quit abruptly, like a week ago or something. Okay, so Network's national security investigative reporter was responding to former... Hold on one second. Let me do something real quick. Copy. There we go. And then, yeah, there it always is. Let's see. The national... hold on. Cancel. There we go. Network investigative reporter was responding to former CIA agent Mark Polymeropoulos' voice is from the Greek plastic magnate that was take that the Ukrainian military, with assistance from the U.S., was thriving against Russian forces. Polymeropoulos? Polymeropoulos? Damn. Filled with acronyms indecipherable to the layperson like TTPs, UW, and EW, was itself a reply to a missive from Washington Post Pentagon who noted the wealth of information the U.S. military had gathered about Russian ops by observing their combat strategy in real time. The interchange illustrated the interplay between national security community and those who cover it, and no one straddled both worlds like Meek, an Emmy-winning deep dive journalist who was also a former senior counterterrorism, makes something of a military fanboy, but his track record of exclusives was undeniable. Breaking the news of foiled terrorist plot in New York City, the Army's cover-up of the fratricide death of Dave Sherritt II in Iraq, bombshell that earned Meek a face-to-face with Obama. With 9 years at ABC under his belt, a buzzy Hulu documentary poised for Emmy attention, and an upcoming book, the 52-year-old man seemed to be at the height of his powers, the pinnacle of his profession. However, outside his Arlington apartment, a surreal scene was unfolding, and his storied career was about to come crashing down. Meek's tweet marked the last time he's posted on social media, on the social media platform. Black utility vehicles, armored tactical vehicle rolled up, blah, blah, blah. 6-story upscale building with rents fetching 2,003 months was over. Multiple sources say Meek was the target of the FBI raided Siena apartments where he'd been living on the top floor for more than a decade. An FBI representative said its agents were present in the morning, but could not comment further. Meek has not been charged with a crime, but independent observers believe the raid is among the first and quite possibly the first to be carried out on a journalist by the Biden administration. Okay, first of all, administrations don't carry out these kind of things. If you're targeting somebody, it's one thing. But that's a big statement. So I'm curious to see did Trump give him some docs? Is that how he got some of his exclusives? A federal magistrate judge in Virginia Eastern District Court signed off on a search warrant the day before the raid. If the raid was for Meek's records, they would have Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco would have had to give her blessings. A new policy enacted last year prohibits federal prosecutors from seizing journalist documents. Any exception requires the AG's approval. In the raid's aftermath, Meek has made himself scarce. None of his Siena Park neighbors with whom Rolling Stone has spoken to have seen him since, with his apartment seeming to be vacant. Siena Park management declined to confirm their longtime tenant was gone, citing privacy policies. Similarly, several ABC News colleagues who are accustomed to unraveling mysteries and cracking investigative stories tell Rolling Stone that they have no idea what happened to Meek. He fell off the face of the earth, and people asked, but no one knew the answer. ABC a representative tells Rolling Stone he resigned very abruptly and hasn't worked for us for months. That's just fucking wild. This is a ginormous story. This is Meek, by the way. This is him right here.
In a way, there's lots of things like this happen in Afghanistan that never made headlines. But I think this was a shocking one. And once ISIS released its propaganda video a few months later that showed video they had pilfered from a GoPro on the body of one of the dead soldiers killed in action.
Yeah, I'm not going to show that footage on my channel. There you go. Because, heavy duty. Sources familiar say the federal agents allegedly found classified information on Meek's laptop during their raid. One investigative journalist who worked with Meek says it would be highly unusual for a reporter or producer to keep any classified information on a computer. Mr. Meek is unaware what allegations anonymous sources... his lawyer made a statement about his possession of classified documents. If such documents exist as claimed, this would be within the scope of his long career as an investigative journalist covering government wrongdoing. The allegations are requiring and troubling for different reasons. They appear to come from a source inside the government. It's highly inappropriate and illegal for individuals. This is the same thing Trump is saying, interestingly enough, but whatever. Not that that's a line. It's just fascinating. We hope that the DOJ promptly investigates the source of this leak. It's unclear what story, if any, Meek would put Meek in the FBI's crosshairs. Meek worked on an extremely sensitive topic, from high-profile terrorists to Americans held abroad to the exploits of Eric Prince, the infamous military contractor Blackwater in recent years. About the Niger ambush in 2017. That Trump was like, why are we even there? Right. Here you go. Even stranger, in the months before he vanished, Meek was finishing up work on a book for Simon & Schuster titled Operation Pineapple Express, the incredible story of a group of Americans who undertook one last mission and honored a promise in Afghanistan, which he co-authored with Lieutenant Scott Mann, retired Green Beret. Meek even featured a picture of the soon-to-publish book in his bio on social media and frequently tweeted about his involvement. But post-April 27th, the book jacket photo disappeared from his bio, and Simon & Schuster has scrubbed his name from all press materials. The first sentence of the jacket previously read, in April, ABC News correspondent James Gordon Meek got an urgent call from a Special Forces operator serving overseas. In April, an urgent call was placed... Okay, now it says, in April, an urgent call was placed from a Special Forces operator serving overseas. So they took his name out of it. They removed him from the book. Wow. That is some hinky shit. Right? So this guy, is, for all practical purposes, seems like kind of your run-of-the-mill NatSec reporter, who's been embedded and does that kind of stuff. I mean, in reality, guys like that are targets all the time for influence campaigns by foreign adversaries. They just are. Doesn't mean he fell for it. Doesn't mean they brought him in on, that's what it's related to. But they are targets all the time. I mean, look at Laura Logan. That'd be a great example. Like, they went after her to try and bait her in that direction, and it didn't take much. With him, it took, we'll see. Again, I don't want to, we'll see where this story goes, but it's pretty fascinating. And it's Meek, not Meeks. Meeks is the guy who got the crop report for the Dukes. Excuse me. Who gave the command to scrub his name? Well, that's from the publishing company over something. Yeah. In 2025, China plans to invade Taiwan. We'll see. In 2025, they'll have bigger problems. They're barely gonna make it through 2023. How's a PI on the side? Absolutely. Don't give my secrets away. Anyways, this is going to be an amazing story as it comes out. Like, Rolling Stone got this, but it's fascinating to me too that this is the interesting thing. It's unclear what story, if any, would have put Meek in the FBI's crosshairs. The issue is not necessarily that it's even a fucking story, right? That's an assumption by writers who are in the media who are reacting to that, right? Rockford Filed reboot starring HAL Sparks. Oh, I would love that, Mark. How I would love that. I think I'd make a great James Garner. And I've even got a good 10 years before it's even necessary. Witness protection. It could be that they're snatching him up for that very reason. It also could be that what they're going after is that he was on the baited side of something. He started helping them, and then they've got to hide his connections. There's all kinds of stuff around this. So this will be amazing as it plays out. We will be reading books about this. I have no doubt. So James Corden's a dick, apparently. He's like, I got a rule. Folks, if I have a single red flag in dating and in friends, it's mean to waiters. Fucking done. And you don't get to be nice to the fucking manager after you're mean to the waiter. I'm just saying. I don't know that his wife was too. He was complaining about his wife's omelet in this one story where he was being an asshole. Yeah, he's a well-known asshole, apparently. And that surprised me because I didn't, follow the show after I had my little back and forth with the network about the gig a long time ago. And like I thought the carpool karaoke thing was cute, but that's that. Like, that's all I thought about it. And the stuff he did with Tom Cruise was fun, mainly because you really did get to see what kind of a miserable prick he apparently is. So yeah, I don't care. Like, you can even yell at to some degree at your own staff. I wouldn't do it, but like was it Christian Bale yelling at the sound guy who walks through the fucking shot while they're doing like an emotional crying scene. So you're already in an emotionally heightened state because that's the fucking job. Right? You're not. It's not that you're walking through the scene when we're all just dicking around. You're walking through the scene like when you're trying to do a death scene in rubble that's made out of foam. You're bringing everything to it, using every trick in the friggin' book. Who's a miserable prick? Tom Cruise. No, Tom Cruise is apparently lovely comparatively. If period, I guess. But anyways, that is not important. But when Christian Bale was like screaming in that, like considering the work he had to do in that moment, and that guy, you know, it wasn't like an underling. It was the actual the main sound guy, like a professional. He's worked on big movies before. So that was you're just fucking the whole thing in that situation. Again, those are the hard movies when you're on a green screen, when you're wearing half a rubber suit and they're going to put the rest of it in later, any of that bullshit, you know, that's work. So fucking with somebody when they're trying to get in an emotional space on a sci-fi or an adventure movie, that's a lot. But like being mean to waiters, hard no. I mean, we haven't ruled it out. Wouldn't be a bad thing. I think I'd be rock solid. Tom Cruise will be a dick if you're a dick to him. I think that's reasonable. I would be that way. Although my way of being a dick looks nice, and that's part of the technique I use. You know your character or how you treat food servers. Exactly. Dude, do you know how, like anybody in a fucking booth, like a toll booth or a fucking subway, or, you know, or anybody who works in a fucking newspaper stand in New York where they're in a box all goddamn day, if you're mean to one of those people or short with them, fuck you. Tom Cruise handled his COVID movie crew perfectly. I agree. Oh, we hit 666. Don't forget to 666 super chat. Let me see if Philip's back in there. He'll message me. If Philip can DM me when he's back from the store, we'll pop him in. If we run out of time, I will get him on Friday because of tech stuff. So that's the thing. Like I'm 100%. I'm not. That's my line. Everything you need to know about the James Corden restaurant drama. No. I don't need to know any about it. I don't really need to know anything about it. But this dude was banned from a restaurant for being nasty to his staff, to the staff at the restaurant. And then he's like apologized and they let him back in. Like after apologizing profusely to the owner. He's basically doing cleanup everywhere because he's one of those things. It's kind of like the Meek story. Like this dude, like all of a sudden, fucking poof. Like, no, you know, people think of it as kind of like, oh, I don't know, he's good at his job. He seems like a decent enough guy. It's good, you know, whatever. And thank you, Tobias. Thank you, Armando. Appreciate it. You know, and then once the floodgates open, it's almost like some of the Me Too stories we heard. You're like, oh, yeah, of course. What do you mean, oh, yeah, of course? Why didn't that come up sooner? Because here's the last thing I'll say on it. When there is a long storied history of someone treating women like shit or staff like shit or being disgusting or mean or any of that stuff for a long time, you know, when they get their comeuppance or they get passed on, everybody's like, good. I'm like, think of all the people, and this is not just completely selfish, but it's some of it's there. Think of all the actors and hosts and comedians and musicians that don't get jobs because these pricks are sitting in that seat for years on end while people try to make it work. I have had my fair share of awful co-stars. And I also know part of what makes it awful is not just that they're mean and, you know, abusive and all that kind of shit, but also there are a lot of really good actors out there and really good comedians and really good hosts that are really fucking nice. They're really good people. Equally as talented. And they're not in that seat because some prick has been kept in that seat for a long time, undeservedly. That's my complaint. Oh, you guys and I don't even have to name names. You guys know my history with some folks and why I wouldn't work with them in any other capacity. Reunions notwithstanding, because I think the fans deserve it. I can pocket my shit for fan things, so I will do it because it'll make the fans happy. But I'm in any other capacity, I wouldn't work with a couple of people. So, anyways, there's that. Well, I mean, BG, like you guys know, like Gail, obviously. Kimberly Guilfoyle. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is her, by the way, this is her sitting on the corner of the desk that Don Jr. uses. She doesn't get her own fucking desk. It's the same fucking office. She doesn't get her own space. Like, it's so weird. Eek. Nancy Pelosi had too much done on her face. Kimberly Guilfoyle. Wow. That old picture of Kimberly Guilfoyle, she looks so mean, I'm surprised I didn't date her back then. Oh, is this before and after? Oh, this is when she was dating Gavin Newsom. Or married to him. Yeah. What in the world? What? Now it's getting... See, the problem is when you call somebody out for having stuff done to their face, people are going to call you out for having stuff done to your face. Yeah. Ugh. Just ugh. And of course, Kevin McCarthy, probably because of the vote Republican thing that's been going around. Yeah, they're gonna cut off aid to Ukraine. Yep. They think this will be a driving force. What is Cenk talking about? Fire the 87,000 IRS. They're just saying that because they want people to think that the Biden administration is coming after poor people. They're not using it to protect rich people. They're using it to frighten, like create an other, basically, another other. They're sending jackbooted thugs for you. Just announced Kevin McCarthy says he will cut Social Security and Medicare if he becomes Speaker. Yes, this is true. I mean, that's the plan. I'm not worried. Meghan Markle's experience on Deal or No Deal sounds pretty awful. Oh, was she was told to suck it in backstage during her time on Deal or No Deal? Spoke with Paris Hilton about the bimbo stereotype and other. Like, all due respect, the job is to... A himbo job is no different in that regard. You're hired to open a suitcase as a model. That's the only reason you're there. It's a silly show anyways. All right. That I don't get. Again, I have a thing about royals and anyways, and anybody who would marry into that family, like, I don't know. It's just, it was magic. No, it wasn't. He's a prince. Yeah. Phil's back and ready. Excellent. Okay, let's see if Phil can, okay. See if he can try that link. See if it works. Fingers crossed. I put it in his DMs. It's right before his last message. He should have it. Let me see if I'm going to test it on my own to see if it works. By God, all this craziness. Okay. See if this opens. This is a new one. Sorry, everybody. Allow. Okay, that should do it. And let's see if this thing works over here. Join. Oh. See if it pops up on there. We'll see. Hey, there's Philip.
Hey!
I see. Okay, so hold on one second. It should pop up on here. Give me a second. I put it in here. So fingers crossed. Let's see. That's weird. So I can see it on here for some reason, but I don't see it on there. Figure that out. Whoops, that just went away. I'll leave and come back. Hold on. Done. Allow. Done. Hold on. Okay, so what am I doing wrong? Show video source. Okay. Close. Hold on. I'm gonna generate a new link for this for some reason. It says it's being weird. It's a new thing. Let's go to the settings. Let's see. Generate a new link. Copy. I'm sending you a new link. Beg your pardon, Philip. We're doing this as live. Apologies. And I'm gonna try and bring him in on here. It's a new thing. I don't know why. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe I have to do this. And control and properties and no, it should just pop up. It should just be there. Maybe I have to join on here. It'd be weird. Hold on one second. Allow. Maybe that's it. Maybe it has to be open on my desktop as well as a separate thing. Which would be weird, but I'm fine with that. Hold on one second. Taking this. Give me 1 second. Trying to bring him in. Start this. Done. Excellent. It's starting to think. it's wondering. Oh, okay. Hold on. Why is it not giving me an option for audio on this? I don't know. Oops. Oops. It's thinking. There, it's... All right, we're back here. There we go. We're getting close. Kind of solving it. Kind of. It's asking a lot of my computer right now. Okay, there's that. Okay, that's a little better. And then this microphone, so he can hear me. We're getting there. I have an idea. I'm doing a workaround. So give me a second. Let's see. Joining. Join with Streamlabs? No. And that's frozen, which is fun. Such a joy. Chasing the technology dragon. Gotta reload the page. It's being weird. Allow. Yeah, it's reloading all my pages. So that earlier, by the way, the issue that I had was web related. It was not computer related. Yeah, same issue. Give me, oh, almost. There we go. It keeps asking for permission. I bet I know what it is too. It's probably, yeah, hold on 1 second. Do this. Pardon me, folks, while I work this out. Thanks for hanging in there. See if it's an issue with browsers, because sometimes that can be it. Sometimes these things do not like Safari because it asks too many questions. Seems to be working. Yeah. Very curious. Let's see. Are we there yet? I'm waiting for a page to load. It's just, yeah. You gotta, hey, I'm trying to connect the internet overseas. It's a lot. Making this happen as we do it. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, it didn't have anything to do with that, apparently. It was just, okay, just trying. Let's see. Allow. Okay. Just. Oop. Why is this? Yeah. It keeps saying this web page reloaded because a problem occurred. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Yeah, it keeps doing it, the whole thing. All right. I have an idea. Give me 1 second. I'm going off air for a second. I will be back on with Philip Ittner by hook or by crook.